Good evening, hello, we're back again, fourth time this week. We're back with a watch along to Ipswich versus Kings Lynn. Palmer's gone out gallivanting tonight, he's out of a few pals, so I'm joined by Al. Hello Al, how are we doing, Mush?
I'm alright, Mr. Dill, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad at all. Looking forward to seeing how this stream goes for Ipswich. A new ground that has been ventured into for Ipswich this year.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Having watched the commentators so far, it's going to be an interesting one. God, I'm not watching them live with the sound up for 2 hours.
It certainly is an interesting one. Shall we have a look at the two teams before we get underway? If you want to run us through the Kings Lynn Stars first out.
Yeah. So, for the Kings Lynn Stars, at number 1 is Max Frick, and number 2 is Ben Cook, and number 3 is Chris Harris, and number 4 is Paco Castagna. Jankovic rides at number 5 with Cooper Russian at number 6 and Jody Scott at number 7.
You're a man to watch out.
Yeah, I'm going to go for the ever formidable Mr. Jankovic. Good rider in that team. Does need a better season, I think, for Kings Lynn this year, but I'm sure he'll be out to certainly have an improved ride this year. And if he can get his form back, I'm sure he'll be a good thorn in that engine room of the side for Kings Lynn, that's for sure.
I've gone boring for this. I've gone with Max Frick. I looked through that Kings Lynn side. I'll be honest, we've not seen much of many of them. So for me, I think going off of last season's meetings here, I'd probably say Max Frick, but that's literally all I've based it on.
Fair enough.
For a very changed Ipswich Witches team, they're led at number 1 by Tom Brennan, taking over from Jason Doyle. And Emil Saivudanov as well. Tom Brennan and Richard Lawson, the new leaders at Ipswich, with Tom Brennan at number 1. Danny King, the skipper, goes at number 2. It's Tobias Muszlek at 3, making the switch from Birmingham last year. Scott Nichols is back in full-time Premiership racing with no TV deal this year. At number 4, Richard Lawson rides at number 5. Philip Hellstrom Bangs makes his debut in British Speedway at number 6. And Jason Edwards, the rising star, at number 7. You got an Ipswich man to watch out.
Yeah, I'm going to go for their skipper, Mr. Danny King. He's had many seasons round this place, and this should be the year that he steps up and really shows what he can do around Ipswich. He's put plenty of laps round here. There should be no reason why he can't hit double figures tonight against Kings Lynn. If he gets his best form going, he'll be flying round here, that's for sure.
Yeah, and they mentioned in the build-up as well how Danny was holding out for Ipswich to come back. He almost feels part of the furniture at Vauxhall, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, to be fair. Bit like Lawson at Poole.
Yes, and I'm going to go with Scott Nichols. He started his career at Ipswich, potentially wrapping up his Premiership career this year. You know, if rumours, hints and all of that stuff are to be believed, it would be quite a full circle moment. He's back where it all started. He knows Vauxhall like the back of his hand, and I think he's a great rider to have in full time for this season. And crucially this year as well, with Ipswich streaming, that's a step forward out.
Absolutely is. Ipswich, I think, have been crying out for doing some streaming, and I think this will help get some more fans through the door. If they watch this one and enjoy it, they'll maybe start to make their way down, or even get more fans through the doors in general. And Speedway is certainly a great help, and if more clubs could be doing it that aren't doing it, then I think it would be better for the sport in general.
And I do think it was needed, no Premiership TV deal this year. Not all fans can get there. It's right down on the Norfolk coast. It's a long way to travel for a lot of fans, and this is a local derby. But if it's sort of, Bellevue or whatever, and you want to get there, it's a long old distance. So it's another option. It's another avenue. It's another income as well. It's another bit of revenue for the club.
Absolutely, we're making good money out the live streaming, and obviously the crowds that are coming in. But yes, good on them for getting it going.
And hopefully Sheffield and maybe Kings Lynn can follow suit as well, especially, as we said, no TV deal. And Yeah, it's not ideal not having a TV deal, but if teams can do streaming, it's another avenue. Because not everybody's mobile enough to get to tracks, are they?
No, absolutely. There's a lot of people that's not mobile, and this will be their only chance to really watch Speedway, and I'm sure this will keep them interested, and maybe generations below them, if they see them watching it, they'll want to go along to the track and watch it more, and it'll bring the crowds up a bit and keep the sport running. And as you say, hopefully the other Kings Lynn and Sheffield will get on board, and even teams further down in the leagues below do the same and bring the crowds in.
Yeah, for sure. We've just had the coin toss. I don't know who won it because we have to obviously watch on mute, but I'll check the updates to see who won that. Have you got a score prediction for me out?
Yep, so I'm going to go on this one 48-42 to Ipswich. I think they win it, but I think Kings Lynn keep them close.
And the new promotion here as well have changed things. Obviously last year and previous seasons there was they weren't allowed to have practice laps or anything. They used to have the bunting across the track so they couldn't go around certain ways. That's gone. The new promotion have brought it in where you are allowed practice laps.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I think the riders appreciate a practice lap just to test a few things out before they go up to the pits to make changes before their heats. And yeah,
the tapes
interesting.
Are
They're
down.
going round to go.
Yeah, they're not allowed to go over the start line. The starts have been
Put
ripped
the tapes
up.
down that quick.
Yeah, they've ripped them up so they don't want anyone going and doing practice starts on them, which is fair enough. So yeah, they are going around the infield around the start tapes and back onto the track. But it's so strange seeing practice laps at Ipswich. You get so used to not seeing them from the old regime.
Yeah, it'll be definitely is interesting. It's nice to see. Also nice to see Cooper Russian got his tassels on his Kevlars as well, which keeps up the Cooper Russian theme.
Yes, and that they look cool. And we put our thoughts into Kevlars and all that stuff. These Kings Lynn ones aren't particularly nice, it's got to be said. So at least Coops is doing something a bit different, and he comes into this off the back of a paid maximum last night for Paul.
Yeah, and there'll be no pressure on Cooper to do that in the top league. But if he can even put a few points on the table, then I'm sure that'll go a long way to Kings Lynn potentially winning this match.
Yeah, and I do think Ipswich will be a formidable opponent, a formidable team to beat at home. I think that we've said this before in the predictions league, but I do think that Ipswich may take a tonking or two on the road, but I think they'll be good at home.
Yeah, that's for sure. They will be good at home, and I don't think they'll win massively at home, but I think they'll certainly get the wins on the board at home for sure.
They've got some Vauxhall track specialists in there though, so it's possible.
Yeah, depending on who they're against, it's possible.
Ipswich have won Kings Lynn have won the toss and have taken 1 and 3 in the opening heat.
Interesting choice. 1 and 3.
Track looks grippy, looks a fair bit of material down on it, and obviously now the new owners of the Speedway Grand Prix, Mayfield Sports, have taken over the ownership of Ipswich. So everything you would suspect will be, high level. There's the bunting, it's back. So for this one, Al will be doing what I usually do, the lineups and results, and I'll be doing what Palmer usually does, and trying not to get blown up too quickly. And unusually for a speedway event, Ipswich have promoted this as a 7:30 parade and a 7:45 tapes up.
Yeah, it's unusual because normally the parade would be about 7:20 and the tapes would be up at 7:30. So, bit of a later start, but hey ho, I'm sure fans will be not too dismayed that it's only a little bit of a later start. It's not. I wouldn't say that's a busy crowd.
It's not a bad, but you can stand all the way around the track here though, so You know,
Yeah,
the
that's
hard camera side, there could be people up this way as well. It's a decent crowd. It's the opening night crowd. I don't think it's a stronger team as they've become accustomed to with Jason Doyle and Emil Saivudinov there for the last few years. It's a good crowd. It's a decent crowd. There's a lot of available standing and seating and stuff here, so it really is difficult to grasp a concept of how big the crowd is.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm sure they'll be pleased with this crowd on their opening night, and hopefully, if it keep up that level, if not get more as the season goes on, with the live streaming, hopefully bringing more through.
Yes. And hopefully, I'd love to go down to Ipswich at some point. I do love being down on the Norfolk coast and down that way. So hopefully get down to Ipswich at some point.
Yeah, so with that, it's actually one of the tracks I've not been to down.
Yeah, because you did your little
south.
tour, didn't you, last year?
Yeah, even went to a track that then decided they were going to rain off their match to have to travel to a different one just to get some speedway.
Was that a Birmingham match?
Yeah, that was the Birmingham match that got rained off. So they pulled the Thursday match forward to the Monday at Leicester, and I jumped on the old train up to Leicester.
Ah, yes, I remember that. Tape's coming down for the opening heat. Big night for Tom Brennan moving to number 1. He has ridden at number 1 before. We had a couple of meetings at number 1 for Birmingham in 2024 before Freddie Lindgren came in. He also guested at number 1 for Bellevue twice on Monday.
Yeah, and he'll be hoping for maybe some more points than he got on Monday. I think he'll be, I'd say, somewhat maybe disappointed with the scoring on Monday, to be fair.
Yeah, I
think
think
he
you're right.
knows himself he probably could have done a bit better.
Certainly at Leicester, I think he was okay at the NSS, but at Leicester he struggled, and as we spoke about on Monday on the watch along, then he was coming off the back of a pretty rough crash in Poland on Sunday, so he's had a few days to recover, and hopefully he'll be fully fit and ready to go. Ben Cook is tiny, isn't he?
He isn't half small.
He's a little pocket rocket man. And again, as usual, we'll be rating the referee's performance. Tonight's referee is Mick Bates. So far, I've got to say, Al, this production is solid enough.
Yeah, it's looking good so far. Let's hope it stays that way for the meeting.
For the first time tonight, in the first time of the new era of Ipswich's streaming, we're on with heat number 1 now.
Yes, in the lineup for heat number 1, in the yellow helmet of gate number 1 is Ben Cook. In blue of gate number 2 is Danny King. In white of gate number 3 is Max Frick, and off the outside in the red helmet colour is Tom Brennan.
Have you got a programme in front of you tonight? Have you printed one out?
Yeah, I'm using the updates.
Oh, okay.
That's the one I've got, so I'm going with that.
Fair enough. Is it going to come across the screen of who's on what gate, or are you going to have to guess? I think you may have to guess.
Not ideal.
Are you going to be filling in any programme? Are you filling any
I
scores
can't
in
even
on
see
your
how you got the
notebook?
who
Or
won the
anything?
toss, to be fair, on.
Speedway updates at the bottom, mush.
That's a point. I should make note.
Make notes. Just do
Well,
what I
I think
do.
there's gonna
Get a
be
notebook,
updates.
write all the team, write the riders down, and then just put 3, 2, 1 and 0 next to their names. You got a little programme without having a programme.
Yeah.
So the start marshals pulled the riders into line. Danny King and Max Frick are very close off gates 2 and 3, but for the first time of the season at Ipswich, the reigning champions, their season is underway, and Danny King's made a flying start off gate number 2. Tom Brennan has missed it off the outside, but he's going high, wide and handsome. Max Frick is in second. Tom Brennan comes around the outside of Ben Cook into third place now, and he's going to put some pressure on Max Frick. But Danny King's away and gone out in front. Max Frick is now starting to put some pressure on the British rider out in front. Danny King's riding a mid-track line to low down. Tom Brennan's giving up on that wide line and he's following Max Frick's line. but Frick is all over the back of Danny King, and one mistake and Max Frick will pass Danny King. But Max seems to have this mid-track line working, and he's gaining on Danny King ahead of him. He almost looks a bit quicker. He's gone wide there though, and I think that may be his challenge over, but he's going to come again. Danny King not the quickest, but he's putting his bike where he needs to put it. Just over half a lap to go. Danny King should, barring any mistakes, bring this home for an opening heat advantage for the Witches, and Danny King comes off the fourth turn for the final time to take the first win of the season in a heat advantage for the Witches.
Yeah, good ride from Danny King, just cruising along and holding Max Frick off with Tom Brennan trying everything to get past Max in third place, and Max just throwing the kitchen sink at Danny but just not quite getting there. Bit of a not so good start for Ben Cook. He's kind of struggled a bit at the back, and it definitely showed, but I'm sure he'll be making a few changes as he goes into the pits and seeing if he can't make this, the gate better in the next one. But yeah, good ride from Danny's got to be happy with that, and he's in the first heat for Ipswich of the new season.
The legend that is Winnie's in the comments. Evening, gents. Hope you both good. Looking forward to this. Ipswich 47-43. I've gone for the exact same score. I think Ipswich will win. I don't know how close it'll be though. But to be fair, like you just said, Al, Ben Cook was a little bit tailed off there.
He was, and hopefully he can make some changes in the pits and look a bit less tailed off in his next ride out. But the result of heat number 1 was a win for Danny King. Second was the rider in white, Max Frick, and third the rider in red, Tom Brennan. A 4-2 to Ipswich is the scores after heat number 1.
It was decent racing as well, to be fair. There's a bit of material down. Tom Brennan didn't make the best start off gate 4, but did make the outside on 1 and 2 work, but it wasn't working all the way around, and he very quickly settled into that mid-track line that was working, and it's that age-old thing, ain't it? If you're on the same line, you're not going to pass somebody no matter how quick you are, because you're on the same line as them, and early on, that's where the racing is going to be.
Absolutely, and if the away side can get the right line, they should be able to make their inroads on the home team and get some heat advantages going. But yeah, Danny King showing what Danny King can do around Ipswich, and fair play to him.
He's a track specialist there, and he's been at Ipswich as long as I can remember. He loves the place, and he's showing exactly why he's riding at number 2 there, and how important it is to have a strong number 2 as well. Al, we're on to heat number 2, Mush.
Yep, so heat number 2 in red off gate 1 is Philip Hellstrom Bangs. In white off gate number 2 is Cooper Russian. In blue off gate number 3 is Jason Edwards, and off the outside in yellow is Jody Scott. Looking forward to seeing how Coops gets on here. He raced here in a little challenge meeting thing last season, an individual, and he was very, very good. Start Marshall's pulling the riders into order for heat number 2. Coops' tassels are blowing all over the place. Tapes fly away we go. It's a good start for the rider. Both the Ipswich boys have got there. Cooper Russian's been sandwiched out, but he has cut back. Philip Hellstrom Bangs and Jason Edwards have just gone round the outside of him though, and Ipswich in the early stages of this heat number 2 are on a 5-1. Jason Edwards on the outside, Philip Hellstrom Bangs on the inside. Cooper Russian giving chase with Jody Scott at the rear of the field. Cooper he's trying, but he's losing ground to the Witches pairing, and they are going to start to pull away now. Jason Edwards is mid-track. Hellstrom Bangs looks quicker than Jason Edwards, but they're team riding this one. Cooper has gained a bit of ground on Hellstrom Bangs though. Is he shutting off to try and protect Jason, I wonder? But Jason's away and gone, perhaps not as quick as his teammate. Maybe holding him up a touch, which is keeping Cooper interested, but a lap to go, and barring a mistake, I think Ipswich will bring home this maximum. Jody Scott's just catching up to his teammate, but nothing really else. Philip Hellstrom Bangs shut off a little bit to let Jason Edwards go, and the Witches bring home a very comfortable 5-1. Are you dead, Al? I think Alan might be dead. Good race there. The Ipswich pair. Hello?
From the gate. You're back. Were you dead?
Yeah, no, I was having slight lag. I couldn't really see much, and then all of a sudden I lost you.
Oh, are you back now? Can you see much again?
Quite sure what's going on.
It generally does this when I have to screen share, to be fair. It's done it before. It's one of those unfortunate things.
I've changed my Wi-Fi over, so let's see if that works better. Yeah, it was a good ride from the home parent. Just great team riding and managing to help keep back Cooper Russian. And although he was trying to bless him, he just couldn't get close enough. And Jason Edwards just tailed off at the back. Jason Edwards, Jody Scott tailed off at the back. Just couldn't get close to the Ipswich pairing.
Do you want to give us the result?
But the result of heat number
good boy.
2 was a win for the rider in blue, Jason Edwards. Second was the rider in red, Philip Hellstrom Bang.
Abby, are you back?
The third rider in white, Cooper Russian. A 5-1 to Ipswich. It makes the scores 9 to Ipswich and 3 to Kings Lynn. And as we move into heat number 3.
Yes.
Just waiting on the riders coming. Oh, here we go. Here's Bomber.
Scotty Nichols and Tobias Muszlek versus Paco Castagna and Chris Harris. Tobias Muszlek's bike covers almost look metallic. The yellow on his bike covers almost looks metallic. It's shining.
Yeah. I tell you what, if the Paco Castagna that rode it, that had showed great glimpses at Birmingham last season, turns up for Kings Lynn this year, he could be one to watch at Kings Lynn.
Yeah, and he's riding at number 4, and it's a position he does like as well. He tends to turn up, doesn't he, at number 4, especially in Heat 14, which he will get. Line up for this one out.
He will. So, yep, the lineup for Heat number 3 in white off gate 1 is Chris the Bomber Harris. Gate number 2 in blue is Scotty Nichols. In yellow off gate 3 is Paco Castagna, and off the outside in red Tobias Muszlek.
Tapes flying away we go, and it's a great start from Scott Nichols off gate 2. Muszlek's there off the outside as well, and Ipswich have gated again on a 5-1. Paco and Bomber having a battle amongst themselves, with Paco coming around the outside of the Kings Lynn captain, but Bomber dives back up the inside of Paco. They're racing each other. Tobias Muszlek's away and gone out front, and Scott Nichols sitting there in second place, and this is exactly what the doctor ordered for Ipswich. They're starting the meeting really well. Tobias Muszlek's popping wheelies for fun. He looks like he's enjoying himself. He's away and he's gone. Bomber is starting to put pressure over Scott Nichols now. Is it 10 British titles between these two? So plenty of experience on British tracks between the second and third place, but Scott is holding on for the moment. Muszlek's away and gone and enjoying his racing. Bomber looks relatively quick, to be honest, but it's the same as before. There's not much of a dirt line building, so there's not a Bomber passing spot yet. Scott Nichols just holding the line at the moment, but Bomber's trying to go wide. I think he's just going to do Scotty here as well. He's done him. Bomber gets into second. Scotty dives back up the inside, but he's not going to be close enough. And Chris Harris has split the Ipswich pair in to take a 4-2 as opposed to a 5-1. Scott Nichols is fuming with himself, but a good ride there from Bomber to split him.
Yeah, good ride from Bomber. He just kept pursuing Scotty and just kept on that outside line, although there's not much grip, and made it work. Muszlek, well, he was away and gone. And unfortunately for Nichols, just couldn't hold off Harris. Castagna, yeah, probably a tough ask for him to go up against. Two men with nearly 10 British titles between them, and Tobias Muszlek. Fear maybe that number 4 might not be the best position for him.
Toby's on Toby's number 3, Mush. I think Alan may be dead again. Tobias Muszlek's bike covers are definitely metallic. They're shining all over the place. And I don't know what's going on with Mr. Al, but yeah, result of Heat 3 was won by the rider in red, Tobias Muszlek. Second in white, Chris Harris. Third in blue, Scott Nichols. 4-2 to Ipswich. As we move on to Heat 4. I don't know what's going on with Alan's...
I'm here.
Are you there again? Did you lag again?
Yeah, I don't know why I got lag again. It was weird.
It does do it when I have to screen share and stream. It's just the way it is sometimes. That's why we try to thing it. But it is what it is.
Yeah, so you
do
one bit each.
Track's holding up well though. I've already done the result.
Yeah, it's holding up well, to be fair. Maybe the dirt line will start to come and we'll see some Chris Bomber moves around the outside, but he very made it work there against Scott Nichols.
I
I'll
like
give
what
him that.
I like what Ipswich do here. Every heat they send their inner track staff out just to pull the dirt straight back in from the boards, so it's not right up there. They pull it straight back, straight away to the inside. I do like that.
Yeah, it's keeps the dirt moving and keeps the track grippy and lets the dirt on the track get a good bit of movement before the riders get on it again.
Yeah, and it saves it all building up on the outside, and then you've got people trying to fly around the fence, and it's not fun out there. You end up with a situation
So
like
the lineup
Sheffield.
for Heat. Oh yeah, that's bad for the grip on the outside with the dirt.
Apologies,
I'll tell
I'll
you
cut
that.
you off
The
there.
lineup for Heat. That's all right. The lineup for Heat number 4 in yellow off gate 1 is Jory Scott. In blue off gate number 2 is Jason Edwards. In white off gate 3 is Yankovic. And off the outside in red is Richard Lawson.
Yankovic has still got his bike covers from last year because he's still got Grand Prix covers, and if I'm not mistaken, he's not in the Grand Prix this year. I think he's a reserve or something.
Yeah, you might be right on that.
I don't think he's in them full time this year.
Yeah, and Richard Lawson will be looking to get one over in his former teammate in this one for sure.
Yes, former club, and a couple of seasons at Kings Lynn, back at Ipswich now, and see how he goes on in this one. Start Marshall walks away for heat number 4. Tapes fly away we go, and it's a good start for the rider in blue. Jason Edwards has got there again. He's out-trapped the Kings Lynn boys, but they've both out-trapped Richard Lawson. Yankovic is putting a bit of pressure on there, and Richard Lawson comes around the outside of Jody Scott. Jason Edwards is away and gone and got about 4 or 5 bike lengths over Yankovic. Yankovic's going straight for the inside. He's going to try and dive bomb Jason. Nearly cleans him out, runs too wide, and that opens a gap for Richard Lawson to come through. And Ipswich on a 5-1. Yankovic was just trying just a touch too hard there, ran wide, nearly cleaned out Jason Edwards, and left a big gap for Richard Lawson to fly up the inside of. But Ipswich emerged after the second lap on a 5-1. Yankovic is now persisting with the inside. Richard Lawson mid-track to wide, and he's just going to settle in behind his younger teammate. Richard Lawson almost looks quicker than Jason Edwards, dare we say, but Jason Edwards doing every bit the job you'd expect of him. Very experienced at this level of racing as well, and he's going to take his second win of the meeting. And Richard Lawson, brilliant ride to get past Yankovic, albeit from a mistake, and Ipswich take the 5-1 in that one.
Yeah, Yankovic a little bit unlucky there to make that mistake and allow Richard up, but had hindsight, had he not made the mistake, then it would have been would Richard have got there? Probably not, and it would have been a 4-2. But yeah, good effort from Jason Edwards. 2 rides, 2 wins. Can't say he's happier than that. Maybe he'll find this form for Redcar in the next match on Friday.
To be fair, he's had a good start to the season for Redcar as well. He has been decent. He's had a really good start to the season, just generally, I think, to be honest.
Yeah, and so far he's had a pretty good start at Ipswich tonight with 2 rides and 2 wins. But the result of heat number 4 was a win for the rider in blue, Jason Edwards. Second was the rider in red, Richard Lawson, and third the rider in white, Yankovic. 5-1 to Ipswich makes the scores 13 to the Ipswich Witches, 6 to the Kings Lynn Stars.
Dan Palmer is in the comments. Some fella we both know.
Oh.
Evening, boys. Thought I'd check in while scoffing a carvery and having a pint. Have a good one. Up the effing Witches. I'm back for the next one.
Carvery.
Oh, carvery. It's not a Toby down that way, though. It's just a pub carvery. Like, if you're going to have a carvery, it's got to be a Toby.
Yeah, that's true. It's got to be a Toby.
I don't think there is a Toby in Scunthorpe anywhere, But if you're going to have a carvery, it has to be a Toby.
Yeah, that's true, to be fair. Can't be a Toby carvery.
And talking of carveries, I wonder if Sheffield are going to do their carvery this year. They on their food items that they do in the restaurant at Arlington, a carvery is one of them.
Well, I'd be surprised if they didn't. If they've been doing it for years, then I'd be surprised if they didn't.
I mean, nobody goes to Speedway for
fans if they don't.
Yeah, I mean, nobody goes to Speedway for a carvery, but it's a good option to have. It's different.
Yeah, sets him apart from the crowd, to be fair.
Yes. Philip Hellstrom bangs, he's chomping a banana in the pits. A lot of riders eat sweets, don't they, for the sugars and stuff. Philip Hellstrom bangs going for the healthier option of a banana.
Well, whatever floats his boat, whatever the Swedish riders like to eat. If that's fruit, then fair play to them.
Yes. I'm very, very proud of you for not even having to Google what nationality he is.
I remembered.
You remembered. We got 8 people watching us. If you're in the chat and watching, get in the comments. Let us know how the stream's going. It's a little bit of a different combo, different roles to what we normally do, but we're making the most of the people we have available. Me and Al, to be exact.
Yep.
And there was
let us know what you had for dinner. I promise we don't bite.
Oh yeah, let us know what you had for tea, and we won't bite unless you ask Alan to, and then he might.
Or if you have cake.
Or if you got cake, yeah. Palmer's going to give you a slap for stealing his line.
I'm just keeping his line warm for when he's back.
I've given up on the gate stats, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I'm not actually sure if it's been pretty even or not. I can't remember, to be honest.
Up until heat 4, I can't remember who was off what gate in heat 4, but up until heat 4, gates 2, 3 and 4 had all won 1 apiece. And yeah, Tobias Muslek's covers are metallic. They're shining. So his yellow on the bike is actually gold because of the metallic, which is interesting. And a reminder, this is a 2-legged tie with it being Knockout Cup, I believe. Oh no, Knockout Cup in the Premiership's different. Tacticals are allowed. It's almost a round robin groups thing, ain't it?
Yeah, round robin, so they'll be allowed.
Tacticals are allowed.
All over the.
Yeah.
I'm sure they had a tactical on the match on Monday.
Yes, you would be correct. I think they both had one. I think Leicester had one at Bellevue, and Bellevue definitely had one at Leicester.
Yeah, that's for sure.
A nice quick track grade, which is exactly what you want when the meeting starts at 7:45, 15 minutes after the traditional start time. A quick track grade, and we're back on with the action. That's nice.
Well, yeah. So the lineup for heat number 5 in red off gate 1 is Tobias Musilak. In yellow off gate 2 is Ben Cook. In in blue off gate 3 is Scott Nichols, and off the outside in white is Max Frick.
Winnie says got some chicken in the air fryer and a good old mint cornetto. Oh, maybe a beer after the interval as well. Yes. What beer are we drinking tonight?
Read on the old updates. Planning to put a big screen in the stadium for the next meeting.
That's cool. That's good. For anyone where's Scotty? He's cutting this quite fine. For anyone that wants to watch the racing on the screen, there is no Scott Nichols. What are we waiting for? Is he not coming? What's going on? Time, tapes, 2 minutes has expired, I think.
Looks like it.
Has there been a stop? Has there been a delay? I don't know what's going on. Obviously we can't hear what's happening, we have to watch on mute, but everybody bar Scotty's at the tapes.
Scotty fell asleep in the pits.
I don't quite know where he is.
Is he done have any food and got locked in the toilets?
yeah, never forget. Scotty, if he's in this race, will be open to learn from that little mistake he made in his first one that just allowed Bomber through. He looked fuming after the heat. I don't know whether the 2 minutes has been restarted or whether these boys were just out early or whether Scotty's has missed the 2 minutes or what. We can't actually tell, but he's still not here.
Not sure what's going on.
I don't think anybody is. Here he is, he's here.
Nichols missed the 2 minutes. Edwards has came in to replace him.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. And Jason Edwards is unbeaten when he's straight on the line. And it's a slightly tougher heat, this one, some might say, with certainly Max Frick on the outside of you.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy for Jason, but I'm sure he'll give 100%. So the revised lineup then for heat number 5, in red off gate number 1 is Tobias Musilak. In yellow off gate 2 is Ben Cook. In blue off gate 3 is Jason Edwards, and off the outside in white is Max Frick.
Paul Hurry not opting for 15 metres or anything, just straight put the reserve in, and it's a good decision to make whilst Edwards is on 2 out of 2 and Hellstrom Bangs as well is on a paid win from his first race. 15 metres round here is quite a tough ask.
It is, to be fair, and I don't think Nichols would have done particularly well off 15.
Just awaiting Jason Edwards to pull up to the line then. And the start marshal walks away. Tapes fly. Jason Edwards has made another beautiful gate, but Max Frick's around him, and Kings Lynn have gated on a 5-1 now out of the first turn. Tobias Musilak is putting a bit of pressure on Ben Cook, but whatever Ben Cook has changed his working. Max Frick's gone, and his partner's there with him in second place as well. And after one lap, Kings Lynn are away on a 5-1. Musilak is starting to put a bit of pressure on Ben Cook now. Jason Edwards is tailed off a little bit in this one, to be honest. But the changes that the Kings Lynn pairing made after their opening heat has worked. Tobias, he's gaining on Ben, and one mistake from Ben Cook, and Tobias will be there or thereabouts with him, but they're both riding the same line. Musilak's got so much power in that bike, he's wheeling down the straight still. It's really trying to pick up on him, but Max Frick leads into the final lap on that mid-track line, and he's pulling away. Ben Cook is clear of Musilak now, and Kings Lynn are going to close the gap down with a big maximum in this one. Jason Edwards, I think, has retired at the back. No, he's not. He's there, but he's way behind. And that's a big 5-1 to Kings Lynn just to stop the rot.
Absolutely, and I'm sure the Kings Lynn fans will be delighted with that, because they needed it after the start the team made in this match. But Max Frick doing what Max Frick does best, and Ben Cook's managed to do something to his bike, because it certainly worked a lot better than it did in his first one. And I'm sure Rob Lyon, the team manager, will be delighted with the boys to get that 5-1 over Jason Edwards and Tobias Musilak, because Tobias actually won his last heat out, and I'm sure he'll be disappointed not to have managed to at least split them.
Yeah,
4-2, but
Toby looked quick in his first one as well. He looks a bit bewildered as to why the inside didn't work for him.
Yeah, look a bit bewildered, to be fair. Maybe something different with the bike, I'm not quite sure.
Tobias just didn't really get there, did he? Ben Cook was snaking all over the place, and Toby shut off to avoid running straight into him. And that was pretty much it.
Yeah, it was pretty much all she wrote, as they say. And the result for heat number 5 was a win for the rider in white, Max Frick. Second, his partner in the yellow helmet, Ben Cook. And third, the rider in red, Tobias Musilak. A 1-5 to the Kings Lynn Stars, makes the scores 14 to the Ipswich Witches, 11 to the Kings Lynn Stars after 5 heats.
After heat 7, when they have another track raid, we'll restart Discord and stuff as well, and hopefully cut out that little bit of lag that you've been having.
Yeah, can do.
It's worth a try, you know what the old saying, I'll throw shit at the wall and see what sticks.
Absolutely. Or in Palmer's case, throw it to the floor and...
Don't even go there. They're getting through this at a decent pace as well. Tom Brennan will be... Cooper Russian nearly went far too far. Cooper Russian's got helmets, different coloured helmets this season.
Interesting choice. Nah, to be fair. Must have cost him a bit to get those different helmets colours.
Yeah. They look nice though, they look really good, they look really professional. Tom Brennan will be open for a better one this time out. Wasn't great in his opening heat, but then when you get the outside gate in your opening heat, it's always going to be tough.
Yeah, especially around Ipswich when there isn't much of a outside line here, so it's going to be tough. But the lineup for heat number 6 in white, off gate number 1 is Yankovic. Gate 2 in red is Tom Brennan. Gate 3 in yellow, Cooper Russian. The outside in blue, Danny King.
Well done, now you got that in just in the nick of time. Start Marshall walks away. Tapes fly away we go. Cooper Russian lifts like anything, and Yankovic is there. Danny King's going high, wide and handsome. Tom Brennan's on the inside. Tom Brennan and Danny King are just going to trip each other up, and Yankovic is away. Danny's on the outside. Tom's on the inside. Danny's definitely the quicker of the two. He's diving up the inside, just thinks better of it there, but he's got more speed than Kovac, I'd argue. Brennan's there in third place, and Cooper Russian's somewhere at the back in this one. But Yankovic with a steady ride out front, although I would argue Danny King is quicker in second place. Just difficult to pass at the moment. Tom Brennan's just sat there in third. He's letting his skipper go after Yankovic, but if anything, Kovac is now starting to pull away from Danny King in second. Cooper Russian gaining a little bit of ground back on Brennan, but I don't think he's going to score in this, barring any slip, trips, falls or mechanical failures, as Palmer would say. Yankovic comes round for the 3 and 4 for the final time, and he's going to take the flag. And Kings Lynn have just started to win a couple of heats now.
Yeah, great ride there from Yankovic, just managing to hold off the challenge of Danny King and Tom Brennan, to be fair. Cooper Russian was catching Tom Brennan towards the end, but I think it's fair to say that was a tough ask for Cooper to come up against Tom and Danny, and I'm sure the Kings Lynn boys will have no pressure put on Cooper for this one, and just to go out there and enjoy it and see what he can do. And yeah, it was, like I said, it was good effort from him, but I think it was definitely going to be a tough ask for him to score points. And I think Danny King unlucky not to catch Yankovic in that one, because he definitely had the speed to catch him.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and Tom Brennan, I know what Tom Brennan's like when he doesn't, feel like he's done himself justice or anything. He gets very annoyed very quickly. He's shaking his head as he walks back in. He's not happy. He's on 2 paid, 3 of a possible 6. And Tom Brennan is a little bit of a perfectionist, and he does like to be out there winning the heats. So he'll not be very impressed at the moment. Good ride from Yankovic. A little bit of a mistake there from Danny King, allowed Kovac to pull away.
Yeah, and I'm sure Danny will be kicking himself just as much as Tom that he couldn't quite catch Yan, and he'll be doing what he can to make some changes to the bike and see if he can't get the win on the next one. But the result of heat number 6 was a win for the rider in white, Yankovic. Second, the rider in blue, Danny King. And third, the rider in red, Tom Brennan. A 3 each makes the score 17 to Ipswich, 14 to Kings Lynn.
Have you had any lag in the last couple, or is it cleared up a little bit now?
It was cleared up a wee bit and just there it lagged the stream.
Okay. And be interesting to see how Bomber and Paco go in this one. The irony, a Glasgow rider and an Edinburgh rider teaming up for Kings Lynn.
Could have thought it.
Yes. You're definitely not lagging as much on Discord now, because you're getting the message I'll put out as soon as it goes.
Yeah. So the lineup for heat number 7 in red off gate number 1 is Richard Lawson. In white off gate 2 is Chris Harris. Blue off gate 3 is Philip Hellstrom Bangs. And off the outside in yellow is Paco Castagna.
It's crazy that Philip Hellstrom Bangs is only on his second ride, and in Richard Lawson, and Jason Edwards has had 3 so far because of coming in to replace Scotty when he was excluded in 5.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy. Hopefully Philip can get some more rides and get some more time on the track.
He looked decent in that first one. He was definitely in his first race. He was definitely slowing down to give Jason the room. So, it'll be interesting to see how he goes here. For me, number 6 in these meetings is probably the hardest spot to be in, to be honest. So Star Marshal walks away for heat number, is this 7 or 6? 7, ain't it?
Yeah.
Philip Hellstrom Bangs and Richard Lawson have gated. They're there. Bomber's in third at the minute, putting a bit of pressure on Richard Lawson. Goes round Richard Lawson, but Hellstrom Bangs is away. Bomber's going high, wide, and is he going to go handsome? He's trying to go around Hellstrom Bangs. Bangs lifts. Bomber's there. Bomber's come from third to first in the space of a lap. Bit out of shape, but he's got there. The Ipswich pair are in second and third. Paco's tailed off a little bit out the back, but Bomber's now starting to pull away, and that outside line coming in is definitely a Bomber style line. But Bomber's not entirely, comfortable. He's a little bit out of shape. but he's away and he's gone. He's got his wheel in the dirt and he's flying now. The Ipswich pair are racing amongst themselves. Richard Lawson has come around the outside of Hellstrom Bangs. His team partner, but they're clear of Paco, and it's going to be another shared heat. And Kings Lynn have started to do what many expected and put a fight back, and Bombers tailed off the two Ipswich pair riders, to be honest. But a good pass there. Bomber gated badly and just did what Bomber does.
Absolutely, and fair play to Bomber. Let the two Ipswich boys get out in front, and then just went, I'm getting round, just see it, and just went round the outside of them. And Hellstrom Bangs made that one mistake and let him round, and there was nothing him or Lawson could do but to stop Harris. So the best thing they could do was hold Castagna up, and that's exactly what they did. But yeah, good race from him.
Good race in general, that.
It was. You kind of feel that Castagna has to be a concern for Kings Lynn. 2 rides and no points.
Yeah, it's not really been close, has he, yet?
No, and that's got to be a concern for Kings Lynn, and possibly even for Edinburgh as well.
And Edinburgh do race tomorrow night, don't they? They got Glasgow tomorrow.
They've got Glasgow tomorrow, and they need their skipper on form if they're gonna win against Glasgow tomorrow.
Tractors are out. Do you want to try restarting Discord, or how is it behaving for you?
It's behaving all right. I'm going to give it a restart. I'll do the result and then I'll restart it.
Right.
So the result of Heat 7 was a win for the rider in white, Chris Harris. Second, the rider in red, Richard Lawson. And third, the rider in blue, Philip Hellstrom Bangs. A 3-all makes the scores 20 to Ipswich, 17 to Kings Lynn.
We'll have a quick breather while they do a track ride, and we'll be back in a couple of moments. We're back. That was a nice quick breather out.
It was indeed.
Let's hope the tech plays ball for us now. We've got 9 people watching us at the moment. Hello, welcome to Shoot Some Sharp, powered by D&D Media, and our watch along of Ipswich versus Kings Lynn. Get in the comments, let us know if it's any good, and if it's not any good, let us know. Just be polite. This was quite last minute. As soon as Ipswich announced they were doing it, I messaged Al because I knew Palmer was out, and I was like, should we do a watch along? So I did kind of spring it on Al very last minute. But it's another bit of speedway, isn't it, Al?
Yeah, it lets me get 2 lots of speedway in 2 nights, so I can't complain.
And yeah, you're off to Glasgow tomorrow, aren't you?
Edinburgh.
Same thing, off to watch Glasgow. That was what I meant to say.
I have to watch the old Tigers in action at Armadale for the first time, and I think I said this to you earlier, was 11 years?
Yes, 2014 or 15 or something was the last. I think you said 2014 was the last time you went, maybe 2015.
Something like that, 2014, 2015.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how your new signings go there, because that will be a really weird track for them.
Yeah, because I'm assuming they're used to big wide tracks, so this will be tight. Technical Armadale won't be easy for them, that's for sure.
We're at Types for heat number 8, Al.
We are indeed in the lineup for heat number 8 in blue off gate 1 for his fourth ride of Askin is Jason Edwards in blue. Gate 2 in yellow is Jody Scott. Gate 3 in red is Danny King, and off the outside in white is Ben Cook.
Ben Cook looked quicker last time out. Danny King looked quick but didn't gate. If he leaves that much of an opportunity for Ben Cook this time, Ben Cook will punish him. There's an outside line now as well, and Ben Cook, as we know, is a little pocket rocket, and if there's an outside line to be had, he'll have it.
He will indeed. And so Danny can't be leaving too much opportunity for Ben, or he'll just whip round the outside and catch him. And Jody Scott certainly needs to come to the party now for Kings Lynn.
So the start marshal pulls the riders into order for heat number 8. Tapes, I think they've not gone up on the inside. The tapes are stuck on the inside. I'd assume that will be an unsatisfactory start. It doesn't look like anyone's jumped or anything. It looks like they're just stuck. They've still not gone even now.
Yeah, you'd think if it was stuck for a second it would sort itself and raise, but it's not.
It's not moved. So that will, I presume, be an all fall back because they've a tapes malfunction rather than somebody being a naughty boy and moving. The outside went, the inside didn't. And Jody Scott's not looked as bad as 2 last places would suggest, I'd argue.
No, I think he definitely has looked better. It's just been unfortunate that he's been the one to fall in the back place. But I'm sure he'll give out everything he's got in this one to beat Jason Edwards, that's for sure.
Quite surprised they've not done a test of the tapes. They've put them straight back down, but they've not tested them that we can see. I'm surprised by that, I must admit.
Yeah.
It is all fall back. Correct decision. Only decision to be made, to be honest. So Start Marshal walks away then. There is movement there from the riders off gates 2 and 3. Jody Scott and Danny King both moved, but Ipswich have got away on a 5-1. Jason Edwards is there. Danny King's in second. Jody Scott's on the inside in third, but there was definite movement. Ben Cook is on the outside, but they may have just pulled the dirt back in that last track grade. Jason Edwards is away and gone out in front here, and Danny King is shepherding him home. Jody Scott he's the one putting the pressure on. He's still ahead of Ben Cook, and Ben Cook could go 2 plus 0 in this one. But Jody Scott's persisting with that inside, but the witch is a little bit clear now. Jason Edwards is going to make it 3 wins out of 4 if it stays like this, and it looks like Kings Lynn have got absolutely no answer to it. 1 lap left to go. Jason Edwards is out in front with Danny King in second place. The Kings Lynn pairing. Jody Scott's made some changes. He's a lot more competitive this time. He's a lot quicker. And we spoke about Ben Cook before the race out. He's not really doing anything. He's now challenging his younger teammate, but that's probably about it. And I think Ben Cook's going to nip up the inside of Jody over the line as well. Nope, Jody gets third, but it's a big 5-1 to Ipswich.
Yeah, good ride from the Ipswich boys, and Jody was putting the pressure on Danny King, but just couldn't do anything. And Ben was a little bit disappointed in that one. I thought he'd have given more of a challenge to Danny, but I don't know if it was Danny making the jump off the middle two, one of the middle 2 gates that just gave him that slight advantage. I'm surprised the ref didn't pull that back.
Jody Scott had a nibble as well, unless the ref deemed it as both were at it and just let it go.
Yeah.
The gates 2 and 3 both had a little bit of a nibble. Scott Nichols is there this time. He's making sure he ain't missing this one.
Well done, Scotty. Well done, sir. So the result of heat number 8 was a win for the rider in blue, Jason Edwards. Second, the rider in red, Danny King. And third, the rider in yellow, Jody Scott. 5-1 to Ipswich makes the scores 25 to Ipswich, 18 to Kings Lynn after 8 heats.
Andy 5786 very much appreciated the live commentary. Shoots and Shale is awesome. Thanks, guys. Thank you very much. And
Thank you.
Jason Edwards adding another heat. Jason Edwards has been win or bust at the moment. 3 heat wins in the last.
Yeah, let's hope he that was his only last of the night, and he's managed to get over his gremlins from the one bad heat that he had.
This consistency though is key, and any success that Ipswich are to have this year, you know, the reserves are going to play a big part, and they're both doing well. Bangs is on 3 paid 5 and Jason's on 9, so it's big scores from the reserves.
Yeah, and so the lineup for heat number 9 in blue off gate 1 is here, ladies and gentlemen. Scott Nichols.
Get on.
In white off gate 2 is Jan Kvek. In red off gate 3 is Tobias Musilak. And off the outside in yellow is Cooper. Mr. Tassel was Russian. Cooper
Russian's on the gate where I think he'll be. He doesn't mind a wide line, does Cooper? I've noticed, and if the 3 on the inside start battling it out, he's more than capable of just sweeping around a lot.
Yeah, and that's what Kings Lynn will hopefully be hoping that he can do off that gate 4. Just get away and round the 3 of them and giving them a good battle, because he did have a good battle the last time out, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit unlucky not to get by Tom Brennan and Danny King. But
Tobias Musilak's a strange one, because he looked really good in his first one, but he looked really not good in his second one. So let's see which pattern and trend this one's going to carry on.
And Nichols turned up for his first one and didn't turn up for his second one, so we'll see how we go to the third.
I'd like to think he was locked in the bog like Vinnie Ford, like you said. So the start marshal calls the riders into order of 8-9, walks away, tapes fly, and it's a good start from the Ipswich pair. They've both outgated and sandwiched Jan Kvek as well. Tobias has gone straight wide. Nichols is on the inside. Kvek's going to go straight round the outside of Scott Nichols, and it splits the Ipswich pairing. But Nichols fights back on the inside, and he's just going to... No, he's not quite through there yet. He's now switched his attack to the outside. Tobias Musilak's away and gone. Scotty Nichols is having a battle with Cooper Russian now. He tried to stick with the inside. The line's not there. It's moved out. He's putting a bit of pressure on Kvek, but not quite enough. Kvek's there or thereabouts. He's not very quick though. Tobias Musilak, he's getting away here. But Scott Nichols again just passed a little bit too easily by an opposition rider, and that will frustrate Scotty. Cooper Russian's now tailed off a little bit at the rear of the field, but this is quite spread out now, to be honest, this one. Musilak, barring any form of mistakes or anything, he's going to win this one. Kvek is now settled in second and popping wheelies, and Nichols is starting to be tailed off from the front too as well. But Musilak crosses the line for another win, and Scotty just drops another couple of points.
Yeah, it's not been the best of nights for us, Scotty. But had a bit of a struggle there, just allowed Jankovic to get past him on that third lap, and it just wasn't to be really for Scotty to try and get back through. Cooper was pushing him along and giving him a good battle, but just couldn't get past him. And then Tobias Musilak, well, that man was it and gone. There was no catching him off his gate, and yeah, it was a fair good match between the back 3 riders, and Musilak must be thinking, what the hell's going on behind me, because he was well gone. There was no catching him.
Good race, that good move by Kvek, but Nichols just didn't quite move out wide enough, I'd argue.
Yeah, he needed to go wider and kind of almost blocked the run of Kvek, and that would have kept him in second for sure. But yeah, the result of heat number 9 was a win For the rider in red, Tobias Musilak. Second, the rider in white, Jan Kvek. And third, the rider in blue, Scott Nichols. A 4-2 to Ipswich. Makes the scores 29 to Ipswich, 20 to Kings Lynn.
And Paco will be hoping to come out and end his scoreless evening so far. Jody Scott did it in Heat 8. Can Paco do it in this one? It's a tough ask against Tom Brennan and Danny King, though. And
yeah, it's going to be a tough ask. That's for sure.
I'd assume Tom's made some changes. He's very particular about stuff like that. He's quite reactory to what's going on with his bike. He doesn't sort of hope it'll come good. He's very proactive in making changes and trying to get the best out of it. So I'd suggest Tom's probably made some changes now. And Bombers look good, and off that outside gate where the line is, this could be a Chris Harris masterpiece here.
Yeah, I think that's what we're expecting, and you never know. Bomber off gate 4, anything's possible off that outside from Bomber. But the lineup for heat number 10, in blue off gate number 1 is Danny King, yellow off gate 2 is Paco Castagna, in red off gate number 3 is Tom Brennan, and off the outside in white, Chris Harris.
We're getting through this. It's a nice old rate of knots, 2/3 of the way through the meeting, and the action's been underway for 45 minutes or so. 2 track grades as well. I mean, I'd assume there'll be an interval coming up soon which will slow us down, but the heats are getting underway at a decent rate of knots.
It feels a bit like Scunny, they're going through them pretty quick.
It's lovely. So the start marshal pulls them into line. Bomber now settles off gate number 4 and he walks away. Tom Brennan's gone skywards and forwards, and Tom Brennan and Danny King have gated on a 5-1. Tom Brennan's going wide, Danny King's hugging the inside. Chris Harris is trying to go wide, but he's at the back at the moment, and Tom Brennan definitely looks quicker in that bike. Paco's in third as it stands, and Chris Harris is at the back, although Chris Harris is just about to come around the outside of Paco now. Danny on the inside, Brennan on the outside, and this is the perfect team ride at the minute, although Paco is starting to put a bit of pressure on Danny King. The Kings Lynn boys are almost racing each other through who's going to go at it. Bomber's going really wide, Paco's curb crawling. Bomber's done Paco now, I think, but the Ipswich pair are away. Tom Brennan's got fresh air for the first time tonight, and he's streaking clear now, and Danny King, I'd say, is comfortable there. Paco's gone to the rear of the field now, but I think Bomber's left himself a little bit too much to do. With 1 lap left to go, Brennan's got fresh air and he's loving life out in front, and a really good ride in second from Danny King as well, just to cover that inside to stop any attempts from Chris Harris, who's looking down at his bike. But Ipswich are going to bring it home for a relatively easy 5-1 in the 10th race of the evening.
Yeah, good ride from the Ipswich boys, and Danny King doing well to hold off Chris Harris. Chris Harris didn't really have the best start to the race, kind of tailing off at the back and only just managing to get past his teammate with a lap to go, and kind of really left himself too much to do. Paco was challenging Danny well, but just couldn't get past them for some reason, and I think the Kings Lynn boys will be disappointed there, but Brennan's got to be happy with that race there. He was absolutely flying in that. Certainly something, whatever he's changed in that bike has worked, because he was quick, and even though he gathered the air at the start, he just went, and that was him. There was no catching Tom after he left the tapes.
Good summary, Al. Pretty much summed it all up.
Yeah.
Do you want to give us the result, boss?
Yep, sorry, I was doing a bit of math.
Quick
The result of heat number 10 was a win for the rider in red, Tom Brennan. Second was his partner in blue, Danny King, and third, the rider in white, Chris Harris. A 5-1 to Ipswich makes the scores 34 to the Ipswich Witches, 21 to the Kings Lynn Stars. And I just wonder, will we see a tactical at any point soon?
No, there's not one in this heat. Ben Cook is there. That was pretty much all done from the start for the Witches pair, and then when Bomber couldn't get past Paco, and when he did, he put a bit of pressure on, but you felt Ipswich were never really out of control of that.
Yeah, it was kind of pretty much all she wrote from the start, really.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone was getting close to Danny King, and certainly no one getting close to Brennan. And it was more of a clean 5-1 than most heats have been so far.
Yes, and a good ride from Danny King as well. You saw on the replay there that we saw going across the line for the first time round. Danny King actually goes across gate 3 and looks to the outside for Brennan to allow him past. Very good awareness from Danny there.
Yeah, very good awareness from the Ipswich skipper. Do what a captain should be doing.
Yes.
And the lineup for heat number 11 of gate 1 in white is Max Frick. Gate 2 in red is Richard Lawson. Gate 3 in yellow is Ben Cook. And off the outside in blue is Philip Hillstrom Bangs.
So Ben Cook so far has gone 0, paid win 0. So could he get another paid win? Could he get an outright win? Or could he get another 0? There's really been no middle ground at the moment.
No, you're right. And certainly Ben Cook's going to be one of the riders for Kings Lynn that's going to have to step up if they want to pull this deficit back and go on to win the match. But yeah, it's not been the best for him, but I'm sure he'll be wanting to come back strong.
What's the score now, Al? You're keeping score, I'm not.
Yeah, the score at the moment is 34 to Ipswich, 21 to Kings Lynn.
Bloody hell. How have you got a 13-point gap?
That's just what's happened.
Start Marshall walks away. That was out for a while. Richard Lawson's made an absolutely perfect start there. I don't think he moved. Just nailed it, and he's coming under pressure already from Max Frick though. Max Frick's going to dive up the inside, sends Lawson wide, very, very wide in the deep stuff. Lawson's gone from first to last, and Ipswich are on a Kings Lynn, are on a 5-1. Forceful from Max Frick there. And Ben Cook has followed him through, and that trend is continuing. 0-2 plus 0, and it could be another 2 and a bonus in this one, although Richard Lawson is pegging it low. I don't think he's going to challenge the Kings Lynn duo though. They look quite comfortable. Philip Hillstrom Bangs is out the back this time and not really in amongst the action. To be fair, the Kings Lynn duo are tailing Richard Lawson off as well now. Barring any mistakes, Kings Lynn are going to take 4 points off the gap. With 1 lap left to go, Ben Cook on the inside, Max Frick on the outside. Brilliant from Max Frick in the early stages to deal with Lawson and allow his teammate through. And Kings Lynn are going to take a maximum in that one. And Max Frick just takes the flag over Ben Cook. I don't reckon Richard Lawson's very happy there. He's gone steaming into Ben 3. Is there going to be a bit of afters? Yeah, he's gave Max Frick the finger as he went past him. Little bit of the old red mist coming down there from Lawson.
Yeah, I don't think Lawson was too happy with Frick in that one there.
There was no contact or anything. Max is entitled to running wide, and he did. He did just that. Richard Lawson shouldn't have left a gap if he didn't want to be ran wide. Do you want to give us the result of that one out?
Yep, the result of heat number 1, actually didn't write it down because I missed, was a win for the rider in...
Are you checking updates?
I'm checking updates. Yeah, give me 2 seconds. That, if it wants to come through, it's not coming through. So yeah, this is good.
You almost had a feeling that Lawson was going to show Max Frick his displeasure then, didn't you, as he went past, steaming into the first turn. You knew he was going to do it. But Max Frick hasn't done anything wrong there, to be honest. Al's still waiting for updates to update.
No, he didn't do much wrong there. Oh. Eventually.
Is it updated?
Maybe. No.
No. Lovely job, Lee. It is interval time at Ipswich. All the centre green staff and track staff have all left the circuit. Paramedics have all gone for a quick cuppa. So they are now having their interval.
I do all the stream an apology. I managed to mess up the overall score. I've just noticed I made a boo-boo.
I did wonder how you managed to get a 13-point gap, to be honest.
Yeah, when you said that, I then realised something didn't sound right.
Yeah, it's usually even numbers. Unless there's a 3-2 or anything, which there's not been. They're taking their time uploading this heat 11, aren't they? I can't
They are
remember
indeed.
whether Cook or Frick won it. I know Riddle Awesome was third. Frick won it.
Prick won it. Oh, there we go. Is it just updated?
Yes.
There we go. So the result of heat number 11 was a win for the rider in white, Max Frick. Second was the rider in yellow, Ben Cook. And third, the rider in red, Richard Lawson. A 1-5 to Kings Lynn makes the scores 40 to Ipswich, 26 to Kings Lynn.
So it's still a 14-point gap. And we are on to the interval now, Al. What are you made of it so far, Mush?
Yeah, it's been very good so far. Kings Lynn probably could have potentially been slightly better than they have been, but I'm sure they'll be coming out in the next few heats trying to reduce the gap as much as they can for the second leg. But fair play to Ipswich. We knew they were going to be good at home, and they proved to be so far. Not many
Yeah.
last places between them. One, I think. No, two.
Three last places,
Three.
including Scotty Nichols, 2 minutes. One apiece for Philip Elstrom Bangs and Jason Edwards. So two last places and a 2-minute exclusion for Nichols. It's about all it gets there, and then you've got 4 heat winners for Kings Lynn and 3 heat winners, 2 wins for Max Frick, 1 for Chris Harris and 1 for Yankovic, and that's about as good as it gets. Only Scott Nichols is the only Ipswich rider to not have a win or paid win in this meeting. Everybody else for the Ipswich team has got at least a paid win.
Well, that's
So
unusual.
Scotty will be open at, is it 14 Scotty's in? Is it number 4's in it, 14? I think it might be. I can't remember.
Yeah, he's in 14.
He'll be open to get a heat win over Paco and whichever one of the reserves go in. Unless there's a tactical played in that one, which is more than possible.
Yeah, that is possible, to be fair. But I think they might put it out in the next one for Cooper Russian, to be fair.
Potentially. Who's in the heat? Chris Harris.
It is Harris, Russian, Musilak and Edwards.
Yeah, I could see maybe Max Frick coming in for Coops there. Should we take a quick breather, Al?
Yeah, we can do. And we're back just like that. Can't believe it. That was a quick interval. Feels
very quick interval, Al.
We literally just come back, forget the drink, and go to the loo, and they're already marking out the start gates and putting the tapes back down.
Hardly worth the medics going off the track, was it?
No, it was really not worth them going off. I think they're trying to give Scunthorpe a run for the money. Just like that, the bikes are back on track. And I think there is a change coming in this one as well.
There is, yeah.
On the interview.
Max Frick goes in yellow as a tactical substitute in this one. As you quite rightfully called, just as we went off, Al.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. The keeper has been good on his.
There may be a bit of an issue here. Either Max or Jason have gone to the wrong gate. Max has gone to the wrong gate. He should be off 1. He was looking at 2.
Oh dear. That could have been very risky there. So the lineup for heat number 12. In yellow off gate number 1 is a tactical substitute Max Frick. Gate 2 in red is Tobias Musilak. Gate 3 in white is Chris Harris, and off the outside in blue is Jason Edwards.
You're keeping up with the darts, Al. Premier League's on tonight as well.
Oh yeah, so it is. I forgot all about that.
Apparently, Jan Van Veen and Luke Littler are practicing in different rooms.
Oh well, after the last time, I'm not surprised.
Where Luke Littler was acting like a petulant little brat.
Yeah, that's the one.
Jan Van Veen's about 6 foot taller than him. He'd have squashed him.
He would have, to be fair.
Bomber's in a unique position behind Jace, half across gate 3, half across gate 4. Jace is just like, it's alright mate, this is the closest you're going to be to me through this race.
He's having a look going, ooh, you look good from behind.
Bit of a way to go for Bomber though, from here up to Edinburgh for tomorrow. Star Marshal then walks away for heat number 12. Bomber's made a poor start. Max Frick's there and he's joined in the first turn by Tobias Musilek. Bomber's cut straight across Musilek and ended his race as ended that run as Jason Edwards tries to come up the inside now. Ruthless by Bomber. That's what Scott Nichols probably needed to do a couple of times, but Jason Edwards has got through to second. Max Frick leads the way as the tactical substitute. Tobias Musilek repaying the compliment on Bomber as well. Bomber just slips through a small gap that had been left, but Jason Edwards still there in second at the moment. Musilek trying as he may. Bomber's going to try and clean Jason Edwards out wide here, and he's done so as well. He's dived up the inside and sent Jason Edwards wide. Musilek will not forget what Bomber just did though, and he's going to put some pressure on. Jace has gone from second to last in one bend. Ruthless from Bomber there, and this is exactly what Kings Lynn needed. Max Frick's missing all the fireworks here. He's away and he's gone. But Chris Harris with a couple of ruthless moves there, to say the least, and he's gonna be another maximum for Kings Lynn. And Bomber managed to piss off both of the Ipswich riders in the same race there.
He did, to be fair, but then again, who does Bomber not piss off? Let's be frank about it.
Well, it's a good point, Al.
But yeah, good ride from Max Frick out in front. Did what he needed to do, just get out and go. And Bomber, I think, lucky to get second there. I thought for 1 minute he was going to end up going to the back. He was going that wide and just couldn't hold on. But fair play, got the second. Just what he needed to do and held off Musilak and Edwards. Although in a bit more of a ruthless way than I was expecting. But yeah, fair play to them. And I'm sure Musilak will want revenge against Harris a little later on in this meeting.
Musilek's been win or third. There's literally been... Has he injured his arm? It looks like he's shaking his hand off. Looks like he may have hurt his hand.
He might have done, to be fair.
Oh, I think the stream might have froze.
Uh-oh.
Stream's not working.
Oh no.
Please load. There we go. It's back on. Never in doubt. There is going to be a delay here because Max Frick's got 2 on the spin.
He has, and he'll be looking to do the same in Heat 13 as he just did in Heat 12. So Max, if I was you, I'd look at the replay and see what you did in that one.
Richard Lawson's going to have something to say about that.
He is, to be fair, as is Tom Brennan. I fear Jankovic might be in trouble in the next one.
Yeah, Jan looked good in that one race, but he's not been particularly great in the other two, has he? Big E13 here. I am surprised with how Kings Lynn have lined up. I was expecting Bomber to maybe be at number 5, to be honest.
Yeah, you expect Bomber to be at 1 or 5, to be fair.
Frick was always going to be number 1 on the averages.
Yeah. But obviously with Frick at 1, you expect Bomber to be at 5, so it was a bit of a shock for him not to be there.
It's been a good meeting though. Been a really good meeting. And the gap down, I believe now, it's 10 points now.
With my correct mathematics.
Yes.
Yes, it is. It's down to 10, and Ipswich Kings Lynn will be hoping to reduce it by even more than that going into the second leg.
Apologies, I was eating some M&S honeycomb chocolate coated stuff.
Fair enough. Can't complain.
Scotty Nichols just comes out to give his teammates a pat on the back, and they've both gone. Tom Brennan looked better last time out as well.
He did. He looked really comfortable last time out, and if he's got the same setup again, then there's no reason he can't go out there and win that heat if he just makes the start and goes. As long as he doesn't lift. Because I know the last time he lifted and it probably unsettled him a little bit. But yeah.
But gate 1 did work in the last heat for Max Frick, so can Tom Brennan make it work here? And to be fair, Tom is a decent gator.
He is. He's probably one of the best gators in British Speedway, I would have to say.
He's a good gator for sure.
So the lineup for heat number 13 in red off gate 1 is Tom Brennan. In white off gate 2 is Max Frick. Gate 3 in blue is Richard Lawson. And off the outside in yellow is Jankovic.
Interesting 3 heats to come here. Are Kings Lynn going to close the gap even more? Are Ipswich going to maintain or even extend it? You'd think Ipswich will probably need a double figures lead to take to the Adrian Flux Arena, to be honest.
Yeah, because anything less than that I fear might be a struggle for them down there.
I think you might be right, Al.
I just wonder how Richard Lawson's feeling having to head back down to his former home track.
He'll be alright. Nothing really phases him, does it? Him and Max Frick line up side by side in this one, though.
And Max has gone into the right gate this time.
Yes. He's in gate 2 this time, so unless he thought about that when he came up to the tapes in the last one. But Start Marshall does pull him in for a big heat 13. And the tapes flying. Max Frick's got there. Richard Lawson's there or thereabouts as well, though. Jankovic has missed it, but he's cutting back and he's going to go from last to second. Tom Brennan sending him wide. Richard Lawson's gone from second to last, and Jankovic's cut up the inside of Tom Brennan as well. Kings Lynn are on another 5-1 here. And the Ipswich boys are almost tripping over each other, just running too wide. The line's come back down. Richard Lawson's up the inside of Jankovic. He's going to send him wide and try and get Tom Brennan through as well, which he's done. Great ride from Richard Lawson there. Jankovic's gone from second to last. And the Ipswich boys have packed in now. Lawson is off after Max Frick, but I don't think he's going to catch him unless there's any mistakes from the Grand Prix rider out in front. Richard Lawson's in second. Jankovic gave up at the back. He's retired. He's pulled up. But this is going to be this could have been a lot worse there with it being a 5-1 after the first lap. I think Ipswich will take a 3-all out of this. Max Frick comes around 3 and 4 for the final time, I think, or is it the last lap? Final time, yeah, I was right. Richard Lawson second, Tom Brennan third, and Jankovic is on the infield with a poorly machine.
Yeah, Quebec unlucky there. He had a good first couple of laps and then just got pushed a little bit wide by the Ipswich boys. Richard Lawson managing to get Tom Brennan through and go from a 5-1 down to a 3-all, and Quebec just giving up on the last lap. Obviously had something up with his machinery towards the end. But yeah, a good ride from Max Frick, just got out the gate and went. And there's nothing really the Ipswich boys could do but try and force Quebec wide, which is exactly what they did. And yeah,
Max Frick has gone straight over to give some advice to Paco about where to go. Paco looking to score his first points of the evening. It's that moustache, it was a good look.
Yeah, that's what it was. He was giving it a rub for good luck.
He ain't got it now, has he? It's gone, he's got a baby face.
Oh dear. Well, the lineup for the result of Heat 13 was a win for the rider in white, Max Frick. Second was the rider in blue, Richard Lawson, and third the rider in red, Tom Brennan. 3-all mixed scores, 44 to Ipswich, 34 to Kings Lynn.
That could have been so much worse though. After that first lap, Richard Lawson was a man on a mission there. He rammed Yankovic straight up against that fence and got his teammate through with him as well.
He did, to be fair. I think after that first lap, I think Richard Lawson realised what the severity of that 5-1 was going to
froze again
have on Ipswich, and decided I need to get Quebec out of the way so we can get through. Oh dear. Ipswich, it was going so well.
It's not loading this time either, Big Al.
Uh-oh.
Technology, there we go. Technology, eh?
We love it.
You got the lineup of 14, there we go.
Yeah, the lineup for heat number 14. In white, off gate number 1 is Paco Castagna. In blue, off gate number 2 is Philip Hillstrom Bangs. Gate 3 in yellow is Jody Scott, and off the outside in red is Scott Nichols.
Philip Hillstrom Bangs wasn't happy with where Paco was lining up there. I've got to say, I don't think he was too close to gate 2. I don't think the start marshal would have moved him, but Paco's moved himself. This looks like a difficult race for Kings Lynn, it's got to be said. Jody Scott looked better in his last one though.
He did, to be fair, and if he's gonna want to produce a ride, it's got to be now against Hillstrom Bangs for sure.
And can Scotty Nichols get that elusive heat win? Only 2 points to his name so far. Star Marshals walked away, tapes fly away we go, and it's a good start from the Kings Lynn pair. Both of them have got their Scotty Nichols at the back. But Paco's got the lead, and Paco does love popping out to win a Heat 14, and he's in front. Scott Nichols is going high, wide and handsome to try and get him though, and he has got more speed you'd fancy. He's going wide, Paco's curb crawling, Hellstrom Bangs is there or thereabouts. I don't know which one of the Ipswich pair wants to attack Paco here, to be honest. They're racing each other. Jody Scott's gone to the back. I think Scotty's just going to get into second now. He's got 2 laps to chase Paco down. Nope, Hellstrom Bangs is going for second. They're racing each other. Paco's getting away. He loves the Heat 14, don't he, Paco? Hellstrom Bangs has passed his teammate. I think it was probably the wise idea for one of them to settle back and let the other one go there. They spend 2 laps racing each other and Paco's pulled away. 1 lap left to go. Hellstrom Bangs is going wide, but the line's not out there anymore. It's come back down low, and Paco's going to do what he likes to do and win Heat 14. Edinburgh fans will know exactly what we're talking about, Al.
Yeah, they will indeed. Oh, Jody Scott a little bit unlucky there. I think he may have got them if there was another lap, possibly. But yeah, fair play to Paco. Did what he does with Edinburgh. Goes out in Heat 14 and wins it. He's usually his only ride that he'll win. It's Heat 14, but yeah, fair play to him. And Hellstrom Bangs and Scotty Nichols just getting in the way a little bit of each other, and almost
they were racing each other, yeah.
Almost allowed Jody Scott to slip through, which wouldn't have helped too much, to be fair.
Yeah, and I think Scott will be frustrated there. He finishes night on 3 paid 4. It's not what you expect from Scott Nichols, to be honest.
No, you usually expect Scott to at least get a couple, 1 if not 2 race wins. But you know, Scott will just have to come back stronger next time and hopefully see what he can do with the bike and get the right setup.
Little fist bump between Paco and Philip Hellstrom Bangs there. Paco looks 10 years younger without that moustache.
It does, to be fair. It's definitely de-aged him. But the result of heat number 14 was a win for the rider in white, Paco Castagna. Second, the rider in blue, Philip Hillstrom Bangs. And third, the rider in red, Scott Nichols. A 3-all makes the scores going into Heat 15. 47 to the Ipswich Witches, 37 to the Kings Lynn Stars.
Do you want to nominate a rider of the meeting out?
Yeah, I'm going to nominate... Look, I'm going to go for Max Frick. He's been pretty good for Kings Lynn tonight, and I think he's definitely shown what he can do and why he's one of the top riders in the league, and he certainly kept Kings Lynn going tonight for me.
I'm going to go with Jason Edwards. 3 heat wins from his 5 races. One of those races he came into a much tougher one. But for me, he's more than done his job. 3 wins, I think he's been fantastic for Ipswich. I could have gave it to Danny King. He's looked really good as well. Dropped just 1 point to an opponent, but I think Jason Edwards' contribution has been more vital. So if you're watching, we've got 11 watching, just get in the comments and either vote for Max Frick or Jason Edwards for the D&D Media Shoot Some Shale Rider of the meeting. One heat left to go out. It's been a good meeting, this, and we're not going too far over time either. You know, just an hour and 20 minutes or so by the time we're wrapped up. It's not too bad.
Not too bad at all. I think I might have got the prediction a little bit wrong at this one.
What's the score now?
47-37.
Oh, I got it a bit close, I think. It should have been a bit of a wider prediction from my side.
You had an Ipswich by 4.
Yeah. Luke Littler is out. There's no Jan Van Veen Luke Littler semi-final tonight. Stephen Bunting has beat Luke Littler in the darts.
Yeah,
serves him
that's
right
true.
For being a tit.
I'll tell you this one, Palmer actually has got this, well, yeah, I'm going to say it now, Palmer's got it wrong for this match. Would you believe it?
Would you, Adam and Evie?
He's the only one of us that didn't pick Ipswich to win.
He went for Kings Lynn.
Kings Lynn, 47-43 to Kings Lynn.
That's delusional.
Yeah, this is Palmer we're talking about.
Richard Lawson goes in blue in 15. Not quite sure who's going with him at this point. I'd say it will probably be Danny King, maybe?
King or Musilak, I would say.
I'd probably argue Danny King's been better. I think Danny King and Richard Lawson will go, to be honest.
Edwards has had 3 race wins.
Palmer's in the pub, the same pub that we were all in when we were down there for the Scunny Birmingham meeting a few years back. Tom Brennan goes in. Why's Richard Lawson got the blue helmet on and Tom Brennan got the blue helmet on?
Someone doesn't know who's going to what here.
Oh God. Winnie says Edwards for me, 9 points out of his programme rides is decent. It is, yeah, it is. So that's 1 vote for Edwards. We've got 8 people still watching. Just give us a vote. Jason Edwards or Max Frick for Rider of the Night. To be fair, Max Frick has kept Kings Lynn in this.
Yes, if he hadn't been there, then I think Kings Lynn would have been... It is Tom Brennan in blue, so it's not Richard Lawson.
Blue. Chris Harris is in yellow. I think Max Frick will be in white.
That question is who's in red?
Danny King or Richard Lawson. Richard Lawson had his helmet on and they were doing something to the bike, but he had the blue helmet colour on it, unless that was just still there from 15. But it is Bomber in yellow. Tom Brennan goes in blue, and Ipswich have got gate choice as well for this. A very successful debut stream for Ipswich, Al.
Yeah, I have to say, apart from a couple of technical hitches at the end, but yeah, it's been pretty good, to be fair.
Ipswich are off 1 and 3. Richard Lawson is in red.
Lawson, interesting.
And
Frick is in white.
Chris Harris and Max Frick, yeah.
So the lineup for Heat 50 for the final time tonight. In red off gate number 1 is Richard Lawson. Gate number 2 in white is Max Frick. Gate 3 in blue is Tom Brennan. And off the outside in yellow is Chris Harris.
Good meeting this out, to be honest.
It's been a good meeting. Didn't expect it to go to 10 points, but there we go. Might still not go to 10 points, but you never know.
Matt Harwood says Jason Edwards as well. That's 2 votes for Edwards.
I think it might go to Edwards here.
And Ipswich going for 1 and 3 in this one.
Oh, he's coming out with a stick.
Yeah, it's for when it's windy, it stops the tapes blowing all over the place, in theory. And as we saw, just the wind does pick up here. So Start Marshall walks away for the final time tonight. And it's a good start for Richard Lawson in red, and Tom Brennan's there as well. And Ipswich have gated on a 5-1. Bomber's going to try and go wide and cut back. Brennan's gone from 2nd to 4th in one move. Max Frick is now going after Richard Lawson. But it's Lawson with the lead from the inside gate. Tom Brennan's gone to the rear of the field. Max Frick's all out of shape there, but he does hold on to 2nd. And Kings Lynn pack it in for a 3-all. Tom Brennan's trying to go really wide. He's getting a little bit dusty now. I don't think Tom Brennan's going to have a lot of success out there, to be honest. Bomber's going wide as well. They're just battling each other out around the boards. But it is Richard Lawson that leads with 2 laps left to go. Max Frick's all over him, but Lawson's just pegging it down tight and catching the grip off the turn. And this will be a shared heat as things stand, and Tom Brennan will be fuming because he hates coming last. He hates anything other than a win, but certainly last. Just went a bit too wide in the first and second turn. 1 lap left to go for Richard Lawson to hold off Max Frick and get a measure of revenge over Frick. I wonder if there'll be the finger or whether if there'll be a handshake after this one between the two. Good ride from Lawson there to take the flag with Max Frick in 2nd. Tom Brennan all over the place. He's fuming, and Chris Harris does get 3rd. Is there going to be an acknowledgement? Sort of.
Yeah, good ride there from Richard Lawson in that one. I think after he gated, there was no really catching him. Frick tried his best, but just couldn't quite get there, and Harris was just battling Brennan round the boards. You can tell Tom Brennan wasn't happy there when he's looking at his bike and just getting frustrated. But yeah, good ride from the Kings Lynn boys to split the Ipswich duo, but you kind of feel they probably needed a heat advantage there to pull it back, and I think actually Ipswich will be happy with that to go down to Kings Lynn with a 10-point lead.
Yeah, good result that. 2 votes have since come in for Max Frick as well, so we're tied at 2 apiece now out.
Oh wow, well, be interesting to see who wins it on the night. So the result of Heat 15 was a win for the rider in red Richard Lawson. 2nd was the rider in white, Max Frick, and 3rd the rider in yellow, Chris Harris. A 3-all makes the scores 50 to Ipswich, 40 to Kings Lynn.
Do you want to quickly run us through the individual scorers? Have you got them written down?
I will have them. So, the individual scores are Tom Brennan, 9 plus 2. Danny King, 9 plus 2. Tobias Muzilak, 8.
Tom Brennan's on 6 plus 2, mush.
Well, then updates is wrong.
I think.
Must have
Have I missed a race out for Brennan? He got 1 plus, 3 1 plus, didn't he? And then 0 just.
You're right, it's me that's done that wrong. Sorry. 6 plus 2 for Brennan. King 9 plus 2, Tobias Muzilak 8, Scott Nichols 3, Richard Lawson 5, Philip Hillstrom Bangs 5 plus 1, and Jason Edwards 9.
I'll do them. have you added, are these your scores or updates?
No, updates. I was adding on the result for 15 on to the riders.
Richard Lawson's definitely knock off 5, mush.
Why the hell have I got that? They've all come up now. Let me try that again. Let's try again.
God, Richard Lawson's on 10 and a bonus.
So, Tom Brennan 6 plus 2, Danny King 9 plus 2, Tobias Muzilak 8, Scott Nichols 3, Richard Lawson 10 plus 1, Philip Hillstrom Banks 5 plus 1, and Jason Edwards 9. For Kings Lynn, Max Frick 16, Ben Cook 4 plus 2, Chris Harris 9 plus 2, Paco Castagna 3, Yankovic 6, Cooper Russian 1, Jody Scott 1.
Well done, Al. We got there in the end.
Apologies.
We had 2-2 for the Rider of the Night, so I'll pick this one, and I'm going to give it to Jason Edwards.
Yeah, fair play.
I think his points were pivotal. I know Max Frick has kept Kings Lynn in it, but you expect that from Max Frick, to be honest. Jason Edwards, I don't think you expect not on points out of. Do you want to rate our referee out? It's not going to get a 10, as Palmer logs, so I make the argument to me. 10 is perfect.
He only had one decision, really, so 9?
Yeah, that's fine for me, yeah. Winnie says, thanks Al, thanks Dern, enjoyed that one. Cheers, fellas. No problem. We enjoyed that one too, to be honest.
Good stream by Ipswich, to be fair, and I look forward to watching more of them.
Yeah, it was good. It was enjoyable. A good meeting, to say the least. Right, let's get that screen share off, and we'll wrap up for the evening. So Al's been Al. Oh, quick plug for our friends actually while we're out. If you like a Speedway podcast, go and check out our friends over at 15 Heats Later. Lee and Beth do a fantastic job. Pool orientated podcast, but very good at what they do. There's a really good interview out there now with Fraser Bowes from a couple of weeks back, and they do a really good job, and they're really top people as well. They support us, we support them. Go and show them a bit of love. Matt says, nice one guys, thank you very much. It weren't too bad, Al, considering it was one we threw together at the very last minute.
Yeah, it was good.
That's us done for this evening. Thanks to Al for jumping in last minute with me. Hopefully Palmer enjoyed his carvery and his beer. We'll be back, I don't know when we're back. I want to say it's towards the end of April. We'll probably be back before then, who knows. We'll just get it into our head to do one and do it. There's not anything planned for next week, but there's always a chance for that to change. Who knows what's going to happen. But Al's been Al, I've been me, this has been Shoot Some Shout. Ipswich's streaming service is very good. Have a very pleasant evening.